Welcome, everybody. This is a workshop on how to listen to your schoolwork. So between the library and DSS, we know that there's interest and sometimes a need to be able to listen to your schoolwork. And we're hoping that this workshop will help give you all the tools you need to make that process easy for you. I am going to be one of your presenters today, but not the main one. Our main presenter today is Leah. Hello, welcome.
Hello.
So as far as what to expect today, we're just going to do some Zoom etiquette just so we're on the same page. And then we're going to go over a very specific text-to-speech software that can help you take almost any reading of any kind. Like it scans it and translates it so that it can be read. That's right, Leah. I'm saying that correctly?
Correct.
Which I think is amazing. And then if we have some time, we'll go over some library resources. I don't think many people know that you can actually have some articles in the databases read to you. So if you're assigned to read a scholarly article for a class or find a scholarly article, that's just a nice option to know that you can listen to it. And then there are also resources through the Spokane Public Library where you have access to so many audiobooks for free. So that's our basic plan for today. As far as Zoom etiquette, that we just ask that you remind everybody that this is a safe place. So please be respectful of others and the conversations we're having. If you are attending from extra credit, which sometimes students do, please be present and participate. We might have a question or two for you. Since we have a smaller group, if you have specific questions, especially about using the software, please ask them. Now is the time to get those questions answered. And then also, we just like to let you know that chats are transcribed. So even if you write something with us or if it's on private message and it's between you and another person, there's a record of that. And we always like to let you know that ahead of time. And then if you are attending for extra credit, there's an evaluation form. But for this session, the most important part of that form is you can indicate if you would like to sign up for the paid version of the software we're featuring today for free. So that's probably the most important part about that section is if you want access to this for free, make sure you let us know because we will give it to you. And this is what I just explained pretty much about the eval. There tends to be 2 assessment questions within that as well. If you're getting extra credit, we'll let you know what the answers to those assessment questions are through this process. We just like to know that you're actively participating if you are attending for extra credit. So no trick questions, just checking in with you. So I think, we do have a couple people attending, and I'm just curious about your experience with any of the software before. So I have a really quick poll. And I'm just curious if you have used any software that's audio related. So have you used a text-to-speech software before where it kind of translates the reading into something you can listen? Have you listened to a library database? Do you like to listen to audiobooks from the public library? Have you listened to a podcast? And this just kind of helps us know your familiarity with this type of software because they all kind of function a little similarly. Now we're going to jump right in it. So at this point, I am actually going to stop sharing my screen and let Leah share her screen. And we are going to talk about our main feature for today, and that is Natural Reader. And at this point, I'm going to go ahead and stop. And then I am going to hand things over to Leah.
Okay, so first of all, I'll go ahead and share my screen so I can show you Natural Reader. So just take me one moment. Okay, so the first and foremost thing is you want to know where to locate Natural Reader. So their website is Natural Readers, it's plural. So it's naturalreaders.com. If you go there, or if you just Google Natural Reader, it'll be the first thing that pops up. And when you open it, this is exactly what it looks like. It is very, I would say, intuitive to use. So what we'll do is we'll kind of go over step by step what exactly Natural Reader can do for you. So I'll go over some of what the icons and buttons are. So this first one here is upload. Did you have a question, Sade?
Oh yeah, I was gonna ask, could you tell us a little bit about like what Natural Reader is and what it does?
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
So Natural Reader is a text-to-speech software where it will read different file types. Down here, it actually outlines what file types it will read: PDF, text, docs, EPUB, PNG, JPEG. There's pretty much reads anything like you said. And there's also an extension that will help you read anything online. So different articles that may be online. There is a free service, there's a commercial service, and then there's an EDU service. As you were saying previously, the EDU service, we've been given a 1-year free trial. So that's why we're able to provide Natural Reader at a premium version for free for the next, I think it's 316 days or 320 days, something like that is what I have left. So we're trying to get it out as soon as possible so people can utilize it. There's a couple features that I'll go over later. What is the difference between the premium version and the personal free version? And most of its convenience and voice type quality is the reason for that. But it will help you read any textbooks if you get them electronically, or articles maybe an instructor would assign for you to read, or if there's an article online, or just a web page online. A lot of the benefits to using eText, is what we call it, is that you can do multiple things at one time. So a lot of us are busy. We are going to school, we're working full-time, have families. So there's a lot of times where you could be listening to your book to kind of get that information implanted while you're doing the dishes, folding the laundry. If you have a commute, you can actually listen to your book while you're doing these other things. And then you can go back and either read the book along with the audio or just read the book, and you already kind of have that information readily available, so you have context. And that's where a lot of our students like it is. We have a lot of students that like to use it because they can follow along as the eText software is reading, and it helps kind of get that information embedded a little bit easier. So that's kind of it in a nutshell. Did I cover your questions?
Oh yeah, that was perfect. Thank you.
Okay, not a problem. And if anybody has any questions, feel free to let me know. There will be a PowerPoint that Sade will be able to include with the recording, so you can go back to that as well.
And I have the chat feature up, so if you don't want to talk, feel free to put it in the chat and I can let Leah know. So you can talk through me if you like, or unmute yourself. You have options.
Okay, so first of all, how to upload a document. That's kind of an important feature. So this is one of the 3 ways that you can upload a document. I'll go over all of this in a little bit more detail, but this is just a quick overview. So here's one way to upload a document. When you have a document uploaded, all you have to do is hit play and it'll start reading it. So it's pretty self-sufficient in that way. Another option is you can convert read documents to an MP3. That's really nice if you're wanting to use it like driving in your car, so you don't have your computer up, or you can use your phone, or you can put it on an MP3 player. There's a lot of different options. I know one person that that's how they do their workout on a treadmill. They listen to their books while they're doing that. The other option is the voices. This is the fun part of Natural Reader. So in the free version, you have 2 voices, a male and a female voice. With this premium version that we can provide to students and faculty, there are 52 voices to choose from. And so not only are there English voices, you can have a British accent, you can have an Australian accent, Spanish, French, Portuguese, German, Italian, Dutch, Swiss. So there's all kinds of different dialects that you can choose from. Now, it doesn't convert it to that language, it converts the actual tenses. The other option up here is the speed. You can slow down or speed up the voices. So some voices are naturally slower, so you can speed them up. So not every voice is going to have the same speed. So you have the option to play with that in here as well. And then the setting options, again, we'll go over a lot of this in more detail later, but this is, you could click on, and then there's multiple settings. This will turn on the dyslexia font, which we'll go over that as well. Here is the paste text. And then we have just the reading pane here, where it has drop and drag your files. And then we have open documents. So another way to upload your documents to Natural Reader.
So I do have a question in the chat. Someone was curious if we'll get an opportunity to listen to some of the voices during this demo.
Yes, we will. We will. We'll go through some of the voices. We'll go through pretty much all of the features. Okay, so the first thing we do that I like to do is choose the voices. So leading right into that, all you have to do is, we're going to leave this as test font is what I use all of this for. So you can have Natural Reader read this information and you can test out the voices that you like. So as an example, I have Heather. I keep mine on Heather. So we'll go ahead and play her and you can hear what her voice is like.
Drag and drop your files or type, paste, and edit text here. Natural Reader is a professional text.
So that's kind of it in as far as one voice goes, but to change the voices, it's as simple as just clicking on another voice. So let's try Peter.
Natural Reader is a professional text-to-speech program that converts any written text into spoken word.
So some people really like a British accent, so you have several options there as well. And I'll go ahead and just start at the beginning, and I'll show you how you can speed it up and slow it down.
Natural Reader is a professional text-to-speech program that converts any written. Natural Reader is a professional.
That's a little too slow for most people, so that's one where it's a personal preference, definitely.
Words.
So now we'll go faster.
The paid versions of Natural Reader have many more features. If you are interested in using our voices for non-personal use.
So there's a lot of variants that you can play with in that, and definitely a personal preference. All of the voices, some people like a certain type of voice a little bit better. Some prefer male, female. It's just exactly that, a personal preference. Okay. So we'll go over how to upload a file. So I'll show you all three ways, but then I'll only upload one file one way. So the first way is you can just click on the upload button. It will bring up just like pretty much most other programs where you just open your files, and you can click on the file that you want to upload. So I have some test chapters that we'll go over. Oops. The other option is just click on Open Documents. It does turn the screen black, but it still works. So you just click on Open Documents and it's going to take you back to that same spot where you can just choose what file you want to use to have uploaded. And I've got two different files I'm going to show you how to upload. We have a PDF file and a Word document. And the other option, which is the one I primarily use, is just a drop and drag. So you can just click on a document, drop it over like that, and it's going to download. Move some stuff around here. So the file is being downloaded. Let's see, we can go over to the More drop down here on the right-hand side. Now this is just going to, we'll go over all of these options as well, but this is where your documents and audio are stored. So when we convert to an MP3 player, we'll go through and I'll show you where to find those audio files as well. But if you click here and click on My Documents, that's where these documents are being added to. And they give you a little warning down here that the documents will be saved for 1 year for the generated audio files. Or excuse me, the documents will be saved for 1 year and the audio files 30 days because they take more space. So here's the document that we just downloaded. You click on it and it just will automatically populate to the reading pane. So I feel like I'm kind of going through this a little fast. Does anybody have any questions as far as uploading the files? Okay, so now to start the reading of Natural Reader, it's as simple as I was showing you on the front page. You can just click anywhere in the document, or you can just start it at the beginning, and it's going to start reading.
Modules 2, 3 thinking critically with psychological science.
And I forgot to slow down the voice again, so I'm going to go back and change it back to, I actually like it right at 0. That's just level. That works for me really well. And then again, I like Heather's voice, so that's what I usually keep mine on. So as it reads, you're going to see that at the bottom of the page, you're going to have a enlarged reading pane that will pop up, and it will show you all the terminology, or excuse me, all the text, and it will highlight as the text is reading, so you can follow along that way, or it will highlight the text in the main pane as well. And I'll show you exactly what that does. So we'll just start down here. And you see how it highlights.
To satisfy their curiosity about people and to relieve their own woes, millions turn to psychology. They watch television shows aimed at helping people cope with their.
So I don't know how much you guys really want to listen to the psychology book, but that I wanted to show you how it will go through and highlight as it's reading. And then also it will go through and highlight in the enlarged text box as it's reading as well. And you can just click anywhere you would like to on the document to have it start reading.
Others intrigued by claims of psychological truth.
And there's several different ways, well, not several, 2 different ways you can stop or pause the reading. So if you've hit play and it's going to start where I was just at,
psychological truth.
You can hit the stop button, or the play will turn into a pause button. So that's how simple it is to upload a document and have it start reading for you right away. To get out of this page, because this page actually just opened up when I uploaded the book, so it does look a little bit different than the front page. To get back to the front page, you would just click this X here. You can change documents while you're in this pane by clicking the upload button. So I'm going to go back to the front page, and I'm going to download another document. Now, the part that I'm going to go over now is called OCRing. OCRing is called optical character recognition. And what that is Natural Reader, if it pulls, you put in say a PDF file. PDFs are actual pictures of documents. So they don't actually always come across as text. With the premium version, Natural Reader will actually OCR a document for you. So I know I'm kind of throwing the acronym around a little bit, but I just wanted to make sure you knew what that is referring to. So what it will do is it will take that picture and it will convert it into text so Natural Reader can read that document for you. In the personal version or the free version of Natural Reader, that is not an option. That is only through a paid version. But because we have this EDU version, we will be able to supply that again for that next little over 300 days. So we'll go ahead.
Oh, I have a question. So with the PDFs, I know like there's just a regular PDF. So would this even work on, let's say you had an instructor who made a PDF of like a book, like scanned a book and then converted it into a PDF? Because I think we see that a lot in classes online too. So it has the ability to go through that and read it, even if it's,
yes.
That's kind of amazing, I think.
It's a great feature. There are a few limitations, and I'll go over what those are right now. Actually, that's a perfect segue into what I was going to talk about, because there is a limitation to how many it can do at one time, but we can just break it down into chunks. So I'm going to just take, because I OCR all of our stuff, I don't really have a lot that isn't OCR, so I had to kind of create one. So what I'll do is I'm just going to do my click and drag, drop it over into Natural Reader. And the way you will know that a document is not OCR'd is I put the document in, I'm going to go up to the first page, it's only a couple pages. I'm going to hit play. And it's going to stop and it's going to say it needs to be OCR'd. It's not going to work because it needs the optical character recognition. Now, the thing to note about OCRing is there is a maximum of 20 pages at a time that can be OCR'd. So you can do a whole book, you just have to break it down into 20-page segments. What I have found a lot with exactly what you're referring to is that when an instructor does have that, they usually have it broke down in chapters already from my experience when I've seen it on Canvas. The instructors have had like 2 chapters here or 3 chapters there. So we've had students be able to just go through an OCR that way. Or the instructor can do it prior to, so then they will always have an OCR version. So that's a great feature. So what we'll do is, that's why I chose just a small little document, and we'll just convert now, and it's done. So I can hit open now. So it's just going to re-download because it's downloading the OCR version versus the picture of the text, and then we'll hit play.
SARS Grid, Part 6, Technical Issues, 2.2.2.
So that's it. It just takes the document, instantly takes it from a picture, reads the text. It's not going to be 100%, but it's pretty darn close. It works really, really well. So does anybody have any questions about OCRing? And what I like about how Natural Reader works is it tells you that it needs it, and then it will just do it for you. Okay, so I'll go ahead and just move on to the next option here. So now we're going to look at converting to MP3. So this is a lot of people's favorite part. When converting to an MP3, you just click on this MP3 icon up here, right next to the play icon. Once you click on it, it brings up convert to audio. Now, there is a 20-page limit on this one as well. It will show if, say I had 50 pages uploaded here, it'll show all 50 pages, but when you go to try and convert all 50 pages, it's going to give you an error and tell you that you can only do 20 pages at a time. There's also a restriction on how many characters you can do in a time period. So, and that's a month, and that's 1 million. And it can only do 50,000 words at a time. So I know that a lot of that information may not be applicable, but just know that if this information comes up, that's why it's there. It's going to specifically tell you how many pages it will actually be able to download for you or convert into an MP3. So even though this isn't going to be the best audio text to listen to, we'll go ahead and convert it. And that's complete. So you can download it. It's going to download as an MP3 to my computer. So then you can just click on it.
SARS Grid, Part 6, Technical Issues 2.2.1H.
So it automatically will start playing for you once you open it. So that is a wonderful feature. We have a lot of students, a lot of staff, faculty that like to use Natural Reader for that very reason, because they can convert their books into an MP3 format and listen to it on the go. And it's great for commuting, when you're commuting. Okay, so now say that you had your MP3 put on your device, but you're going to play it on another device, and you need to know where it's at. That's where you can click into the more drop down here, click on Documents and Audio, And right here, it shows all the documents that I have that I've downloaded, but here's the My Audio. You click on the My Audio, and it is in the process of downloading it. I have the documentation FAQ here as well. So you have it here for the specified 30-day time frame that you can go back to it, but you can always just download it straight to your computer. To get out of this section, you would just click back here, and it brings you back to the main page. Does anybody have any questions on converting to audio?
I just want to say that's pretty slick personally.
I know, I like it a lot. That's why I like doing Natural Reader, and I like showing people about Natural Reader, because there's so many really cool, quick, easy to use options that are available. So MP3, again, is not available with the free version. Converting things to an MP3 is not available for the free version. So again, this is why we're really trying to get the information out about trying to use Natural Reader, and for all the different things that it can assist students with, faculty with, staff, and see what we can do as a campus. So what I'm going to do, oh, go ahead.
Oh, sorry, we did have some comments come through the chat.
Okay.
Couple of comments just saying this is kind of awesome, so yay for that. And then also someone noted 2 questions. The first one, is this the #1 program for this kind of type of software? Do you know?
It is not the #1 program. It is a very good program that is cost effective, because they do have a free version and the paid version for the premium outside of the EDU is pretty reasonable as well. The #1 version is called Kurzweil, and that one is $1,000 up to $3,000. They have different levels of it. So there are higher level programs, but this is the one that we like to use. We use Kurzweil in our office when we're proctoring exams and students need an audio exam. But this is the one we like to let them know about, that they can use either for free or purchase the upgraded version.
So we have a comment as well and a question. It looks like there is an app for this, correct?
Mm-hmm.
And then curious if the app also looks like it has a dyslexia version. Do you know if the web version has the dyslexia font as well?
It does.
Yes, okay.
Yes. And actually, I'll be going over that next. So this is like everything everything has been like perfect segue right into what I'm going over next. So I was going to bring up the dyslexic font version. So what you can do is there's a couple ways you can turn this on. You can turn it on here on this main page. Just click on the toggle button, turns it on right there. You can see how it changes the font. The other place you can go into to change it is in settings, and you can turn it on or off here. So if you struggle with confusing letters or switching letters back and forth, there's a lot of reasons people use dyslexic font, even if they don't have dyslexia. Some people just, it flows for them better when they're reading. Now, the way the font will work in a text for the book, what we will do, I will go ahead and just open up another document. We'll just do it in a different way this time. We'll click up here. And we'll go down to here. And I don't think that this came up before when I was showing you, because I had the screen a little bit smaller, but it will show you how the file is uploading. I actually already have this file uploaded, so we'll just kind of forget about that and we'll cancel it. And we will go open it up here. So it's already loaded. It'll be a little bit faster. So make sure the dyslexic font stayed on. It did. So as you see, it's not going to change the font on the main reading page. Where it's going to change the font is in the enlarged reading pane at the bottom of the screen, where it will be highlighted. So I'm going to go ahead and just hit play.
hoping to satisfy their curiosity
So
about
you can see how the
people
font
and to
down
relieve their
here where
own
you're going to be
woes
following the
millions turn
highlighter
to
is actually
psychology.
changed to the
They
dyslexic font.
watch television shows aimed
Did everybody see that okay, or do you want me to play a little bit more? But that's where a student would be following along typically. And so that's why only that font is changed. Perfect. Looks like everybody's good.
Yes, I got comments that that is fantastic and that they love it.
Oh, good, good. Okay, so what we'll do now is I'll just kind of go over the different settings. So that is the main portion of Natural Reader. I'll also, after we go over the settings, I'll go over a little bit of the online, the Chrome extension to show you how you can use it on just a website. So here we go. In the settings, there is a dark mode. The dark mode does not change the actual text in the main reading pane, but it does change everything else. And it will change when you're reading. So I will close this out and kind of show you that. It brings it up down here. So if you have light sensitivity,
and helping people cope with their
people use this dark mode for the light sensitivity or if they have an issue with contrast. And you can change it at any time. You can turn it off. You can change the dyslexic font again. You can use the volume on your computer, of course, but you can also use it here. So you can change the volume to be a little louder, a little lower. It just defaults to 75. And that it's always worked for me. I've never needed to change it. I just use my speakers. Here's where you can choose the different colors of highlighting. There's a lot to choose from, but some people like certain colors either because they're have issues with color blindness or just a personal preference. So you can choose your one of the four here. I like green, so I use the green one. This word highlight, this will stop the word from being highlighted as it's reading through the document. So that, again, that's a personal choice. We often recommend that people use that because that does really seem to help with tracking. Reading settings, there's only two. You can have the reading skip the text in brackets or skip URLs. So if you're reading something that might have a lot of citations to it or something along those lines, and you're not wanting to hear all of the citations, you can select this. It defaults to be on. So that's just there as well. You can always change that if you want to have it read all that for you. And then there's the three hotkeys. These are just commonly used ones that people have for reading, pause, previous, and next. And that's usually how you have it set up is it'll go down to the next paragraph. So I kind of ran through that pretty rapidly. Is there any questions on any of the settings? Okay.
Not seeing anything currently.
Perfect. And then now there are also commonly used settings or tools, I guess is a better way to call them, that we'll go over real quick as well. Here, and they're just on the left-hand side of the screen here in their own little bar. There is an auto scroll. So as the text was being read, it will go down to the next page as it's going through. So you can turn the auto scroll off to where it'll stop at the page and you'll have to manually go to the next page. That's what this is for. I always have it on, but that's just me. And there is no really on and off. It's just either blue or it's gray. This is a great feature. This is one that I constantly point out for our students is the find feature. So it's just like using find in Adobe PDF. You can type in a word. It's going to go in if you want it to highlight all of them. Let's do television. Whoops, if it's better if you spell it correctly, it'll find the word a little bit better. Okay, so it'll tell you how many matches there were right here in this little 2. And then you can, it'll show you the highlighted, where it's highlighted at. And then you can go to the next one just by hitting the next arrow, and it'll take you down to the next highlighted section, theoretically. Oh, there it is. I missed it the first time, sorry. So that is a great feature. It is so good for if you're studying for tests and you're going through your textbook. It's great if you're looking for definitions of things. It's a fabulous tool. The other really great tool is Bookmarks, which I know a lot of people are very familiar with working with Bookmarks. It's very similar to the bookmarks that you already use. You just click to add a bookmark. The bookmark is added. You can click your list of bookmarks, and then it'll have a full list of them, and you can click on the one that you want, which is also great for if you're studying, you read through something or you heard something, you want to go back and ask your instructor. You can locate it quickly and easily. This option is just zooming it in. So you can click on this and you can hit the plus, and it's going to just enlarge the text. So it's going to enlarge it for you if you're reading as well. So if you have a vision impairment or you just have a headache and you don't want to strain your eyes anymore, you can just enlarge the text this way as well.
I have a question.
Sure.
Will it read like the alt text for something for an image, or is that not part of the software?
It can, as long as it's been OCR'd. So if it's a document that has been OCR'd, and it will typically OCR that for you if it's one that hasn't been already. It won't OCR a document that has already been OCR'd. It'll just go straight to reading it.
Okay, thank you.
Some of that's dependent on how the document was set up originally. This is the set the margins. So another way, if you were to zoom this down and you hit set margins, you can increase your margins where you're using less. You're only seeing specific portions of the pages, just like pretty much any other margin setting. You can go through and do the whole document page by page, or you can just, if you only have one page and you want it to be enlarged so it'll draw it in closer to you, you can do that. Most people just typically use the zoom button. That works just as well. Then the next icon here is to share. So you can share a link with somebody. So you can copy the link and email it to them, or you can share it to Facebook. So if you're wanting to share something that you read or a section of the book that you're reading or the text that you're reading, you can do that as well, which is nice for study groups. Okay, so I kind of ran through that part too. Does anybody have any questions regarding any of those tools? While we're looking, what I'll do is I'm going to go to the DSS page.
Right, and I just want to check in with you, Leah, and I'll let you know we probably have about 5 more minutes, and then I just have one thing I want to show everybody, and then give them time to fill out that eval and everything.
Perfect. So, and this will be really quick. So I've already downloaded the Chrome extension. It's right here at the top on the right-hand side in the corner. All you have to do is click on the dot where you want it to read in the, or on the website. Hit the natural reader link and click.
Available services. Services provided to students may include but are not limited to.
And it's the same color that I already have set up. So it's that green color I like. So that's all you have to do. You just click where you open it up, you click where you want it to read, and you hit the document, or you can hit the play button. You can change things here without going all the way back to the natural reader, the web version. You can just click on the settings and you can change the voice, you can change the speed, you can change the text highlight color. You can turn on the dyslexic font, so it'll do the same thing. Auto scroll. So all that is available for you here as well. So that was pretty brief on how the web version works as far as letting you be able to read websites. Does anybody have any questions on that?
We did have a question about getting access to the premium version. So I'll go ahead here and just note that at the end, we are asking you to fill out an eval. And a part of that eval is asking if you would like access to the premium version. And if you say yes, DSS will contact you to follow through steps on how to set that up.
Yep.
And I know that we have, I think at least one faculty member. So I just want to confirm with you, Leah, it sounds like you have a lot of these licensed. So if it's something that you think as a faculty member would be beneficial for your class to offer, that would totally be a possibility. There's many of them, which is just, I think, lovely. So please know that that's an option from an instructor standpoint as well.
Yes. All right, well, that's all I had. If there aren't any other questions.
Awesome, thank you. Goodness.
You're welcome.
And we're almost done for today. I am just gonna, our main feature today was Natural Reader because it can do so many awesome things. And right now I'm just gonna share with you of resources. I'm just gonna mention them. We won't go into too much detail. And if you have questions, you can just let me know. Let me do this real quick though. So I don't know if you can see my screen right now on the left-hand side, you can see that we have a PowerPoint we're going off of, and specific instructions on how to do everything that Leah just showed is going to be in this PowerPoint. So I'm going to share one or two resources with you just briefly, and then I'm going to give you links that will give you access to this information from home. So if you want to be able to refer back to this, you very much have the ability to do that. So we've learned about natural language reader, or natural reader. I don't know why I put in language, extra word. And so I just wanted to let you know that there's a few more resources. That's the most impressive one. So that's what we spent the most of our time on today because it does wonders. But there are a few extra resources for you. You may be asked by an instructor to use the SFCC library databases. This is what this database page looks like. And this is another resource where you can search for articles. It has many, many different databases. And they have newspapers, scholarly articles, magazines. There's a lot of resources that you can find in these databases. There are a few of these databases that have built-in software so that you can listen to the content and have it read to you. So I want to point out the two vendors, and I'll explain what I mean by that in just a second, that have the best option for being able to listen to their articles. So when I say vendor, I'm referring to the company that provides access to the databases. So on the example here, I have EBSCOhost, so that's the vendor, and then they provide access to all these different databases. So here we have History Reference Center, we have ebooks. This is our biggest ebook collection. This is more nonfiction and research specific. And then probably the database that you've heard of the most is Academic Search Complete. So these do have features within them where you can opt in to listen to the content and have it read to you. That being said, you can always download the PDF and then upload it to Natural Reader. So that is just like kind of the catch-all nice option, right? We also have another database vendor, Gale, and there's 3 databases under that, which I would recommend. So you'll probably, oops, went one slide over. We'll recognize, we have Gale eBooks, Gale Literature, and then Opposing Viewpoints, probably Opposing Viewpoints, if you've used that database, is one of the more popular databases we have. And they have a built-in language reader as well. So just so you know, you'll have access to these slides later. And on them, I've provided details on how you would go about listening to the content within the database. It's pretty simple. For the most part, you're going to look for an icon that looks like this in the lower left-hand corner of this slide, and it will give you the option to hit play. You can select an accent. It's not as impressive as Natural Reader, but there's a couple. I just personally find the British accent a little easier to listen to because it feels more conversational. I don't know if that's some sort of like bias deep down that I have. So of course, select what is best for you. But basically it's the same icon when we are entering into an EBSCOhost database. And then also hint, hint, this might be a question on the end eval if you're attending for extra credit. So if I ask for a database name, that's when we're kind of looking at that academic search complete, history reference center, pretty much anything listed on this page would be an appropriate answer for that question. And I just want to be respectful of your time. So please just know that there is detailed information on here about how to access that in the database. And if you have any questions, feel free to contact me. We have contact information at the end of this slide as well. And here's my catch-all. Just download it as a PDF. I think really that might be the best option for you, is to download it in a PDF and then just upload it to Natural Reader. But you do have some other options. And then here, I just want to give a quick plug to the Spokane Public Library. So as an SFCC student, faculty, staff, you have the ability to get a Spokane Public Library card. Traditionally, those cards are for people who live within the city of Spokane and pay taxes towards their resources. But as a student, you have access to all of their digital content because they have made a very generous agreement with us where they will provide access to all their digital content to us and to you for free. There's information on the slide on how to go about creating a digital card for the public library. So know that that is an option for you. I would say that this probably is going to be really helpful for you, depending on the type of content you're looking for. So if you're looking for more nonfiction, educational, research-based information, I would say use the SFCC library databases, because that's where we have that type of information. Our ebook collection is really good for that as well. If you're in a course where you're being asked to read something that's a little bit more literature-based, let's say a novel, nonfiction novel, or nonfiction generally speaking, that's where the public library is going to be more helpful. The public library has a much larger fiction collection than we do because we are more research based. So let's say for a class you're being asked to read a novel of some kind. This would be a great opportunity for you to log on to the Spokane Public Library's databases or apps, and you could listen to the book, or you could check it out in print and then listen to it at the same time, which might also be helpful. And this is all for free. I just want to note that the two apps from the public library I would recommend are Hoopla, and this has streaming video, television, ebooks, and audiobooks. The thing with Hoopla is you usually want to check out early in the morning because it's based off of like downloads per day. So you can always access what's in there as long as you get in there early in the day because they reach a limit. The other option is going to be Overdrive, and Overdrive has ebooks as well as audiobooks. And from here, you might have to get on a wait list. Sometimes things are readily available. It just kind of depends. But again, everything is free. And you can also request, not a lot of people know this, but you can ask the public library to purchase books for you, and they will do it for the majority of the time. You can ask for ebooks, audiobooks, print books. They will purchase it and let you know when it's ready. So that's an option as well. So those are just a couple of other ways you can get access to audiobook content. Does anybody have any questions? We feeling okay? We're about to wrap this up, so I just want to check in.
Ursula was wondering when this recording might be available.
So that depends on how much time I have to edit and put things together. So I usually try to do it within a week. I'm currently attending a conference this week, so I'd say probably sometime within the next week, week and a half. So yes, thank you, Heather. If you do not live within the Spokane city limits, you can still get a public library card through us. So that's the perfect intro. Thank you, Heather, for putting that information in our screen there. I also have some other links that I want to share with you. So at this point, I'm just going to transition to providing you guys access to the resources we talked about today. So right now I'm putting a link into our chat box. And this is going to take you to a library guide, which has all of the information we discussed today. So here we have the PowerPoint, including some lovely slides that Leah made for us that show you all the various features that we talked about today. If you need a refresher, what does what, where it is. If we scroll down, it links you directly to the correct link for Natural Reader to be able to interact with it. And then we also have information here on the library databases, how to be able to search them, which ones we recommend as the best ones to listen to. And then on this page is also information on how to get a Spokane Public Library card. And then there are details on how to go about downloading those apps. So to be able to listen to the audiobooks, you do need to download an app, create an account, and then log in with your Spokane Public Library card number. So all that information and all those steps are listed on this screen. And then if you have any questions, please feel free to contact the SFCC library. We can let you know how to go about doing it, but if for technical reasons it's not working, we can help you find someone at the public library who can help you with that. Now, I'm going to go ahead and just wrap it up. The last thing I'm going to provide you with is, oh, wait, I got